Right, it's the 7th of the 2nd, 20 at 8 today. I'm going to read you a different type of book today. No offence, but the Christmas ones I'm not interested. I want to try something different. So I haven't finished this book because there's a bookmark in it. And I've managed to get to page 194. The book is called What Is Your Dream by Simon Squibb. And I started reading this book, but I could argue that I was living my dream as well, which is why I forgot about my book. We struggled to make any money from it. We were out of our comfort zone. Eventually we realised that we weren't running an extension of our existing business, but a completely separate one. Grace had become a distraction. It wasn't reliably profitable. Grace had become a distraction. It wasn't reliably profitable, and we shut it down. It took us 5 years to realise that, though, and I'd love it if this book could save you that pain by understanding that you need to diversify smartly in ways that play to your strengths, where you have the business equivalent of a home advantage. I'm far from the only entrepreneur to have learnt this difficult lesson. I once interviewed Pip Murray, founder of Pip and Nut, a hugely successful range of natural peanut and almond butters, now sold by thousands of retailers across the country. It was the classic entrepreneurial success story, from the kitchen table to sales in the multi-millions within a few handful of years. Then Pip decided to diversify into nut milk, a milk substitute, trying to capitalise on the trend of healthy vegan lifestyles. On the face of it, this made sense. If the brand could have success with one range of nut-based products, why not another? But Pip told me it was a disaster. The manufacturing process was very difficult from the core product, the position in the shops was less favourable, and the competitive landscape was brutal. It didn't work, and she quickly shut it down. What had seemed like a small sideways step in fact became an unimaginable jump. These are examples of how going from growth can mislead you, when what seems like a viable extension of what your brand becomes a pit into which you sink time and money with little meaningful return. Our experience with Grays was a reminder not to stray too far from what made us successful in the first place, but we were not daunted by the failure, and you should not be put off by challenging yourself in search of growth. There will come a time when you want and probably need to expand your focus and take your business into new directions. As long as you have a solid operation in place and won't be taking your eye off the ball, there is a limited cost to these experiments and potentially a huge benefit. You don't grow a business without taking some risks and daring to be creative. Keep coming up with new ideas, add bubbles to your mind map. When your gut tells you that you have to try one of them, then give it a go. Even if you fail, you will learn something and be better placed to get the next extension or expansion of your brand right. There will come a time when you want... hang on. Growth is never by mere chance. It is the result of forces working together. This is a quote I love from brilliant entrepreneur James Cash Penney, who created the American department store chain J.C. Penney. What are those forces, and how can you harness them in your favour? As we already noted, perhaps the first and most important force is the customer. If you follow the customer, meet and exceed their needs, and nurture a loyal relationship over time, you will be repaid many times over. Remember the Presto principle. Your top 20% of customers will do more business with you over time. They will connect you to other clients, and they will help to build your brand by speaking well of you. Every good business creates a satisfied customer who provides much of the most important marketing. The next force is your own people. We will talk more in Investing Success, this chapter is called. The next chapter about how to find, nurture brilliant people who are the driving force of any business. But it's safe to say your business is not going to grow unless you really look after your people and get them infused in the success of the company and the dream it is helping you to achieve as you are. That's why I say you have to invest in success at the growth stage. By this point you have worked out your business model. You know you are not throwing good money after bad. You can afford the expensive podcast studio, not just a crappy Amazon microphone, and you will benefit from the investment, which will help you to produce a higher quality product. It is at this point you will need to give yourself permission to invest back in the business, pay good people more and give them equity. Choose a beautiful office that people will want to work in and kit it out properly, or ensure their home office has everything it needs. Invest in the equipment and systems you need to go to the next level. Above all else, ensure that you give your people freedom and flexibility in how and where you work. As we discussed, you need to act poor at the beginning of your business journey, even if you have money to burn. Hold on to every penny and spend only what you must. But the equation flips on its head. There's a dog barking. I don't know if it's picking it up. Hold on to every penny and spend what you must, but that equation flips on its head once you are established. And trying to grow at this point, you will drive people away. At this point, you will drive people away if you try to bargain them down on salary and incentives or make them work in inferior conditions, and you will deter potential customers and investors who aren't investing fully in your digital presence and all the places people can find your brand. Not long ago, a company pitched me for an investment. When I went on their website or social media channels, I thought multiple links that were outdated, a new section where the last post was 6 months old. It was a classic example of how you should do things properly or not do them at all. Better no website than a poorly maintained one. At this level of maturity as a business, anything with your brand on it will be taken as representative. If any visible part of your business appears broken, people will assume that everything must be, and they will quickly look elsewhere. That's why you will hamstring your business if you don't invest in the right infrastructure as you grow and hire the right people to maintain it. In the same way that you need to start a business poor, you should aspire to grow it rich. How do you do this? You need to follow one of the most important principles I have learned in business. When you make money from your company, don't take it off the table. Don't use it to buy yourself a house or go on a long deserved holiday. Instead, invest that money back into the business. Give out pay rises, improve your premises, develop and market your brand. I can guarantee you that you will see returns on the investment over a long term. When it comes time to take money out of the business through selling a stake in it or the entire operation, whereas if you are nibbling away at the profits while running the business, paying for a new home or your next holiday, you undermine your growth and the value of your eventual return. Those who practice delayed gratification will be the more successful in the long run. The camera's broken. Bollocks. Hang on, Lily. There you go, look at Daddy's big fiass. The camera was broken. Don't know what happened there. Sorry about that. We're getting a long reading session here, so just want to listen to while you're falling asleep, darling. Daddy loves you a lot. Misses you. Nibbling away at the profits while running the business. You will undermine your growth and the value of your eventual return. Those who practice delayed gratification will be the most successful in the long run. To which my responses always are, you sure need an investor. A lot of people assume that the third party investment by definition is a good thing, signifying that you have made it as a business. But I can promise you that if you get the wrong investor or take investment from the wrong reasons, then it will ruin your life. The thrill of getting the money will soon wear off, and you will find yourself effectively working for someone you wish you had never met. If you are not careful, your shiny new investor can quickly become your nightmare boss you thought you'd escaped when you quit your last job. See, I never had a nightmare boss. I've learned and like through things and people especially, and listening, and it's interesting. If you are sure that you do want an investor, then think carefully about where to find them. At an early stage, when the sums are relatively small, consider raising money from family and friends if appropriate. These are people who already know you and want you to succeed. The only thing to remember is that you mustn't oversell. Don't jeopardise close personal relationships for the sake of the business. If family or friends aren't available, then at the early stage, you are probably looking for an angel investor. These are the individuals with personal wealth who will invest in a business, often entrepreneurs who have sold their own business. This is how I invest. They have the ability to write a check and they know the ledge and experience to give you hands-on support. With building your business, you can find angles by getting involved with business networks, pitching your company at events, or simply getting to know the founders and asking them to introduce you to their investors. But remember, you're not looking for an angel investor, but the investor who is right for the business. One who believes in your purpose, has relevant expertise, and who you think you will be happy to spend a lot of time working with. People think investors are the ones who get to be picky but founders should be equally careful when looking for funding. Seek out the best investor for your business. Tell them not that you are looking to raise money, but that you are looking to raise money from the right people. Explain how you think that they in the particular can help you grow and develop the business. Remember that you are building this business to achieve your dream, not so you can end up working for yet another boss who happens to call themselves an investor. Be selective and remember my golden rule of investment. If you ask for money, you'll get advice. If you ask for advice, you'll probably get money. At later stages, other investors may be appropriate, such as venture capital VC. But be aware that these are specialist investment firms that are looking for companies that can grow very big very quickly. They want to find the next Airbnb, Lululemon or Five Guys. If your ambition are that big and you can show massive traction and growth potential in your business, then you might be able to get a VC interested. If so, then again, my heating's red hot in this house. You have to do your due diligence, find a firm that is relevant to the sector you are in. Look at the other companies they have invested in and ideally get someone to introduce you. A final way to seek investment, which people rarely talk about, is from people you hire into the business. Sometimes you reach a point where you know that you need a certain equality of hire or level of experience, but are worried you won't be able to attract that person to your company. They're already working for a bigger competitor, almost certainly on a bigger salary than you can afford to pay them. Often this is the number 2 person who effectively runs the company on behalf of the CEO or founder. They might seem out of reach, so how do you recruit them? Quite simply, you offer them something their current employer never will, a major ownership stake. You invite them literally to buy into the company. This way, you can potentially kill 2 birds with one stone. You get the hire you really wanted and the funding you needed at the same time. However and whenever you go about seeking investment, the rules are basically the same. Find the right person. Tell them why you are the right business for them as an investor, and ask for their help before you ask for their money. Look for someone who can add value to your business and will be happy that you gave them a chance to invest. I promise that no one is going to sit on the comfy chair breathing, berating you. Dragon's Den is not real life, but if you find the right investors who are aligned with your purpose, it can make a huge difference. Check that camera's working. And allow you to move more quickly and take more ambitious steps. After customers, people and investors, the final force for growth is you. It was you, the founder of the business, who helped to give it life in the first place, and it is your actions that will determine how successfully the business grows over time. Part of this is about the things you do. You are still the person who is best placed to set the direction of the business, wherever that is, seeing new opportunities to expand, managing important clients or relationships, or winning a new business. And as the founder, you also have the most opportunity to colour outside the lines and do something unexpected or opportunistic. Sniffing out opportunities and agreeing to invest time and sometimes money in them is part of the founder's job. At the same time, you also have to know what not to do. For most entrepreneurs, this is the hard part. You are used to doing things and taking decisions. Actions has served you well, but past a certain point, you can't do it all on your own. And if you try, then you are going to hold back the very people you have recruited to help you grow the business. I encounter this a lot. People say they are finding it difficult to scale their business, but they got stuck and they're struggling to grow. If this is your problem, then I have news for you. You need to take a look in the mirror, like it or not. You are most certainly the one impeding the growth of your business. Let me explain how this works. You've built the business up from nothing and been the primary driver of success. You're still the one who brings in most new business. You're still probably the biggest rainmaker on your team. It couldn't happen without you. The problem is that everyone knows this and they act accordingly. They don't feel empowered to take decisions without checking with you first. Subconsciously, they know that they are not expected to step up and take more responsibility. If there is a problem or you are at risk of not hitting the month's target, they are going to look to you to make up the shortfall. I think we'll go another 2 minutes and then that'll do a 20-minute video for you, Lily. But yours, the shadow within the business is too large, and like plants that live in the shade, your people are not getting a chance to grow. This is commonly known as founder syndrome, where the person who started the business remains too great a role at the point of where success should be resting on many more shoulders. It's a problem that only the founder can solve, and you do it through the 3 T's. Train people, trust people, and tear yourself away. I learnt this at Fluid when, after a few years of running the business, I had got the idea that only I was capable of doing the important jobs. I thought I had to be leading every pitch, handling every major client, and representing the business at every industry event. It took some time to realise that by doing so, I was both harming myself and holding back my team. At this point, I sat down and wrote a list of all the things I was doing, and literally broke down my job and started handing out pieces of it. I trained people I knew were talented to take up the roles they hadn't previously been comfortable with. I trusted people who already deserved to have more responsibility, and I tore myself away from the business. I was still a CEO. Still did lots of pitching, client handling and networking, but I no longer felt that the business might fail without me. I took a step back so that others could step up and the business could surge forward, which is exactly what happened. That sums up how growth is a tricky thing for any business. A mixture of things you need to do, things need not to do, and all the unusual accidents of luck and timing. There are lots of important aspects to it. So in the chapters that follow, we'll look at each of these in turn. From the team you need to build around you, to the risk-taking ability you must hone, the perseverance you must demonstrate, and self-awareness you must show to manage and evolve your own role. Can't get a GR Yaris, can't get a GR Yaris, can't get a fucking GR4 Yaris. Oh, the camera's gone off. Sorry, don't know why I did that. I've got like that plane there. I've got this thing, and I just really want it, but I know it's not right to do. But to be honest, it's the only thing I've got to look forward to. But because at the minute it's all unknown, isn't it? Really, I don't know. And self-awareness you must show to manage and evolve your own role. We start perhaps the most important growth enabler of all, the people and partnerships who can take your business to the next level. I don't know why the camera keeps going funny, Lily, but that was a chapter of Simon Squibb's What's Your Dream? I hope you're having good dreams. What can I say? I miss you lots, and yeah, I could have maybe tried harder and been better. I don't know. I've had a lot of time to think, and there's certain aspects I could have done, maybe could put more effort into, but at this, I felt like I'd give everything. I tried, I'd had nothing left. I'm so tired. I can't tell you how tired I am. I just feel like it's been one long year. Honestly, it feels like it's still 2025, and it's just a continuation of when, after that New Year's last year, of New Year's, sat in this very room, and I just thought, like, I can't do this. I thought I don't want to live 2025, I will live 2024. As I say, I got the greatest gift in 2025, and I'll always be thankful for you, Lily. Something wrong with his camera. Yeah. I just thought things would get better. But I think I realised, nothing changes if nothing changes, and I just sort of, I don't know, I sort of knew it would happen sooner rather than later. I'd lose everything. So that's why I'm just really not. If I have to go, then I have to go, because it can't be any worse than what I've had to put up with. I don't know what love is, but I know Daddy loves you, Lily. You're the most. I'm so proud of you, and I love you to bits. I really miss you. Don't ever think that Daddy didn't care about you, but he does. You're a piece of him, you're a part of him, and he misses you daily. He thinks about you when the minute he gets up, he thinks about you before he goes to sleep, he does. And one day I'm gonna see you again. But I'm not scared. I just want I'm not. In fact, I'm looking forward to what's coming in the next few months. I am. In the next few years, I'm looking forward to it. It cannot be any worse than what has just gone on. But despite that, I'm so proud of the fact that I've got you. Otherwise, I'm still holding out for you, is what I'm trying to say, Lily. You're my reason I get up. You are. I'm going to see you very soon. Thank you.